The week's season flies by, and it always does. I was talking to the seniors last night at practice, and I told them we don't have many repetitions left, and it dawns on them, McNeill and those guys, Brad, Warnick, those guys, and it's amazing how fast the season goes. The more, and then it's like we're just beginning our press conference over in Murphy, and go back to spring and early morning. So it's going by, and that's how they seem to do that. The open date came at a very good time for us. We needed the time to, from a physical standpoint, and I think from a mental standpoint, just to get away from the preparing for a game just a minute. It was an off week, but it wasn't vacation. We worked 3 days out of as practice. Coach Connors lifted 4 days, and out of that time, and we got a chance to catch up on that. Treatment was a big emphasis, and catching up on classroom, and those items were big. We did dive into Tulane, expose them just a little bit during the week, but not an overdose because we knew we had the game week. But we did expose them to Tulane, but it was a big fundamental week for us. It was a big group week for us, and it was a chance to get work good on good, best on best, and individually, pass rush and one-on-one, skelly or group periods, and some team. We got some good team reps. We used Thursday as a fundamental group day, and then scrimmaged some guys who don't get many repetitions during the year, and redshirt guys, about 35 plays live. So that went well. We came back Sunday routine and began there. The coaches were on the road Wednesday night, Thursday and Friday. We came back Sunday routine day, from study halls to treatment to Coach Connors to our meeting. So last night we went into a normal practice, and very pleased with that. And, very pleased with how we approached practice. I thought the group was very excited and eager to get back, and some had a chance to go home, some of the guys nearby, and some guys took some guys from far away homes to their homes. So that was pretty neat, and that's what happens. That's what the college experience is about, and guys getting a chance to see other places, and our kids are like that. And so we dove right into Tulane. Injuries, Justin Dixon's still out. Brandon Williams has a ham, but questionable. I think he'll be able to get some extended work on Tuesday. Brandon's a linebacker. Cody Lyons, one of our special teams guys, he still has a muscle pull ham, but he'll try to get him back. He's very vital on our special teams. Justin Hardy got work last night, so we trying to make sure we limit his work, but it seems like he's okay. But just nicks and bruises. Like I said, the off week was good. One announcement is that Rio Johnson has left the team and decided I don't know about transferring, but he left on good standing with us, and I thought I need to let the group know that. He came and met with Lincoln and I here, and so we just wish Rio the best, and we'll help him any way we can. The next challenge for us will be Tulane, and C.J. Johnson is the coach. I've known C.J. a long time, since the Miami days, where we won a national championship down there, and then we kept in contact and saw each other a lot at conventions and coaching clinics when he was at New Orleans. And C.J. did a good job. He played at Idaho, was a very good player there, but won a Super Bowl championship with Coach Payton there at the New Orleans Saints. So C.J.'s got some pedigree. He's been in it 25 plus years. So he's getting his program, and he's in his first year getting his program going. Offensively, Tulane has really moved the ball well. Ryan Griffin has been there. I think he's 40-plus starts for him. I think C.J. has really advanced it when you watch him on film. I put last year's film on this morning, and then I watched, this is the fifth game I watched today of this year's team, and he's really throwing the ball a lot better. He's doing a good job of recognizing receivers, getting rid of it quickly, doing a good job that way. He had the highest ranking quarterback rating really going into last week's game in the conference. So really releasing the ball quick. The offensive line, they're doing a great job of that. But his main target is Ryan Grant. He played last year, and Ryan's a good receiver. They move him around from inside to outside, similar to what we do with Justin Hardy. He catches the ball, and they find ways to get him the football, so we have to make sure we're concerned and put some attention on him. But the two running backs, and you remember this name, Orleans Darkwa, I really liked Orleans. He's back, and CJ's throwing the ball more to the running backs, which these guys on space and getting them out in space, and it's almost like a long handoff for them. So we have to do a great job of corralling these guys and getting hands on these running backs. They do a good job, and he splits time with Rob Kelly, another bigger back. Orleans is about 205, 210, and Kelly's about 220. So they both play single back and dual back, double backs, two backs. So their offensive line is led by Eric Jones. He's been there 30 games, and he does a good job up front for them. And I think the way they protect, and I was watching some Saints film we have on in storage, and you can see some of the up front protection rules and offensive line rules that they use there. They're doing a good job of getting that in. Their defenses reminds me a lot of Houston, where they blitz and move and play a lot more man. A lot of blitzing of the linebackers. Their secondary have some athletes back there with Lorenzo Dawson, Darian Moore, and they really do a good job up front. Now, Austin Jackson's been there a little bit too, so we'll have to make sure we do a good job, like we did the last game, out of communication up front and picking up blitzes, stunts, movement, and we'll have to be able to win versus man and zone coverage. For the second week in a row, we'll face another top flight specialist. It seems like every week we face a top guy. Jeff Charles and I were talking about this last week, but Kero Santos is a place kicker. He's 14-14, maybe 15-15 now, with a long of 57 yards. So he's got a good leg and strong leg. And the punter's new, averaging about 41, 42 parts a game. But special team wise, we have to make sure we can do a good job of that. And again, we'll face another good specialist. The keys to the lane that we feel, and I feel that necessary, is just focus on us. We did it last week. We've done it year, and I think the kids are understanding now, especially after going through it and feeling it in this time of the year. But focus on us, and what can we do to have the best week of practice possible, to play our best game possible at Tulane. Offensively, individually, up front, footwork, making sure we keep and continue to work as a unit. We've seen more blitzes really the last 4 or 5 games. Houston was a 60% blitz team. It went to 85, almost 90% against us. If not blitzing, some type of stunning. So individual footwork as a group up front, making sure we communicate and pick up those things. At the skill position on offense, making sure the little things, making sure we run our routes better, making sure the running backs, Tay and Reggie. We got Michael Dobson back. I left his name out. Mike practiced last night, so he's back. But those guys working on fundamental blocking and just making sure we do a better job of playing together, that offensive line and running back from a blocking standpoint in pass protection and running. Timing of Shane and the receivers. We work good on good, which presses both sides, offense and defense. Defensively, tackling, getting off blocks, tackle. Our third down packages when we expose them to Tulane. More individual time that you can spend during an off week, whereas like this week, you can't have individual time. We have to, game 11, we'll cut time on the field, extend meeting time, and any time on the field, you have limited individual time, but more group time, Pacific group time for Tulane. Last week, we were able to do more individual groups. Special teams-wise, Kirk and the staff, we worked on fundamental on kickoff coverage, getting off blocks, getting back in lanes, everything involved around that. Return, making sure we got working on angles, and did a good job of not necessarily the return we'll use versus Tulane, but the parts. So it's almost a whole part method, part whole method, and did a good job. You want to play your best game, your last game. That just comes from me being around a little bit. You want to make sure you improve, and I thought we did versus Houston. We want to make sure we play better against Tulane than we did Houston, and make sure we play better the next game than we did this game. And we talk about that, and we talk about each guy getting a little bit better in one item, not a bunch of items, but be very good at one thing instead of half at 10. So each guy improve individually, which in turn will make the whole group improve. So we talked about that. But want to play our best game, our last game. So, and in this case, let's play our best game, our next game, which is Saturday.